Can you buy any credit score you want for a couple $100s? Credit repair services promise to fix your credit, and more people are using them. But do they actually work, and are they even legal? I did a deep dive into the tactics they use, how you can use them yourself, and how to avoid getting scammed or even end up behind bars. So what do credit repair companies even do? Credit repair companies are businesses that charge money to clean up your credit reports. They start by getting copies of your reports from the three big credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Then they look for information that might be wrong, things like late payments you never made, accounts that do not belong to you, or debts that have already been paid. This is great if your report is filled with incorrect information like late payments, or you're trying to negotiate old collections off your report. But you can't remove factually accurate items. For example, if you have a ton of credit card debt, your credit repair agency isn't calling up the reporting bureaus and being like, hey, my client doesn't have any credit card debt, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Plus, not every company will use every credit repair tactic, so you'll need to know the services they offer before signing up. Most of these companies run on a subscription model, so expect to pay roughly $50 to $150 per month, plus a one-time first work or setup fee in the same ballpark. A lot of companies suggest that you keep using their services for around 4 to 7 months, so it can add up fast if your problem doesn't get fixed right away. So, is it legal? Well, yes, some of the tactics are, but you need to look out for shady companies making shady promises. So stay vigilant. And remember, you can use their methods all by yourself and cut out the credit repair company entirely. So let's cover what they really do. The first service is pay per delete. Instead of a flat monthly fee, these companies bill only when they convince a bureau to erase a negative mark. And the rate they charge depends on what they delete. For $25 to $30, they'll remove things like late payments, collections, or charge-offs. And for $50 to $100, they'll even handle things like tax liens or bankruptcies. That may sound super exciting, but the Fair Credit Reporting Act only requires bureaus to delete errors or records they can't verify. So the repair service has to convince the lender or collector to admit the item is wrong, or in a lot of cases, just try to get the bureau to investigate for over 30 days without reaching a decision. This is because credit bureaus are required by law to investigate a claim within 30 days, and if that goes over that time without a judgment, they're forced to remove the credit item. And unlike the previous method, some of these companies will try to stack the odds to make that happen, using some pretty shady methods. I'm talking about wearing down credit bureaus with a tsunami of emails, and if their appeal gets rejected, they often rinse repeat for months, hoping for a different call center agent or a missing file that lets their appeal go through. Now, you could avoid having to pay a credit repair agency altogether if you want to send the emails yourself. But it's important to know that it isn't like you're sending 5 emails and everything gets solved in a week. This is hundreds of emails over a few months, so credit repair companies offering these are the wasps of the credit repair industry, and the FTC is catching on, so it may not be around for much longer. And if you're looking into credit repair so you can get approved for a loan, you might already qualify for a personal loan of up to $5,000 from CreditNinja, who works with customers who don't have the best credit. Funds can be delivered the same day in some cases, and they have thousands of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot. So check the link below and watch the video to learn more. Next up is Tradeline Rentals. This is where you pay to become an authorized user on a credit card of a random stranger with good credit, which can lead to a 100+ boost in credit score. That new line can help you 3 ways at once. It lengthens the average age of your accounts, adds months or even years of on-time payments to your history, and expands your total available credit so your utilization ratio looks lower. You might remember us mentioning it in our video of how to boost your credit score by 100 points in one day. If you haven't, check it out. But this works a little differently, because in that video, we specifically mention asking a close friend or family member to add you as an authorized user, whereas here, you're getting added to a random person's card for a price. It's already a little shady. The older and higher limit the card, the more you pay. Typical going rates today run $200 to $1,500 per card slot, with boutique brokers charging up to $3,000 to $4,000 for VIP lines that are 15+ years old and 5 figures in limit. And when the rental period ends, the cardholder drops you and the trade line can disappear just as fast, sometimes shaving back some of the points you gained. So, is it legal? Maybe. Technically, adding an authorized user is allowed under the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, so the practice itself isn't banned. But paying a stranger for the privilege is squarely in the gray zone. It's like photoshopping yourself on a dating profile. Not illegal, but the more you mislead people, the angrier they're going to be. In this case, the angry people are the FTC. But as of now, they're only concerned with the false advertising that floods the Tradeline business. Seriously, some of these companies will promise the world to get you to sign up. And you have to ask yourself, does it even benefit me to be potentially misleading lenders and getting a loan I'm not equipped to deal with? Food for thought. This next method doesn't go through a company, and it's actually something you can do on your own. And I'm talking about secured credit cards. They aren't an immediate credit boost, but they're free, so it's a good trade-off. These are similar to credit cards, but they're mostly for people with bad credit and can offer a huge boost to your credit score over time. You swipe it like any other Visa or MasterCard, but you offer up to a $200 to $300 refundable deposit to the card company, which is then locked away as collateral. That deposit all but guarantees approval, which means even if your score is in the 400s, you could still get a card and start boosting your credit score. But if you're already up to your eyeballs in credit card debt, why not watch this video on how to pay off credit card debt with zero cash flow? But don't go anywhere, because there is one last credit repair service you need to absolutely avoid to stay out of trouble. And I'm talking about wipe your credit clean scams. Here's how it works. Someone will approach you with a credit privacy number, or CPN, and the promise of a brand new credit file. But that 9-digit code is almost always a stolen or completely fabricated social security number. And the moment you plug your new CPN into a loan or credit card application, you've stepped into identity fraud territory, which is treated as a felony. Some scammers will dress it up as a credit sweep or file segregation service, but the scheme is always the same. They're coaching you to lie on a federal credit application, and that offense can carry up to 30 years in prison, plus 5-figure fines. The worst part is that ignorance won't save you. Lenders, law enforcement agencies, and the bureaus trace the paperwork back to the person who used the number. So steer clear of it entirely and avoid trade lines unless you know and trust the person doing it. Or just skip all of that and get a loan from CreditNinja. We'll see you in the next one.